Bonjour everyone, welcome to another episode. Today is another diecast showcase. As usual, today we're going to be doing a little Squarebody special. So basically, Squarebodies have been all the rage for a couple of years now, notwithstanding which manufacturer is making them. The vintage pieces from miscellaneous manufacturers have started gaining value on the secondary market, and I thought I'd show a little portion of my square body collection. As mentioned before in other videos, I'm not a big truck guy. However, the square body and the OBS, the following generation of Chevy and GMC pickups, are something I do enjoy. So I've been collecting them unknowingly of their future popularity for a couple of years. Well, actually, quite a few years. So yeah, I'm going to show you a little variety. It's going to be a mix of different brands, from vintage all the way to fairly newly released stuff. We're going to namely be looking at a couple loose castings. And a lot of boxed and blistered things too. Greenlight, Hot Wheels, Premium, a little bit of Jada, M2 of course, and yeah, we'll get her started. I'll just start with the loose stuff, just a couple to show you. So first one I'm going to show you is something that's pretty vintage, namely this guy here. So this guy here, I actually had to do a little bit of research to know exactly what this is. And despite my research, still a little bit unsure. Now, on the get-go, I thought this guy was a Yatming. Sorry about that, little cat hair. Thought this guy was a Yatming, but seemingly it is not. Now, I thought maybe based on the wheels this could have been maybe a play art, plus it's super weighty, especially for a casting that has a plastic base. I figured out that it was not a Yatming because of the front end. And now the front end of the Yatmings do have the larger square lights. So this is not a Yatming. Because of the gap that you would see basically on the bottom part here, I was thinking maybe it was a Soma casting. It could be. That is an educated guess. But all in all, through comparables, it is quite potentially an old Welly casting as well. So, unsure of the brand. There are quite a few of these on sale for on eBay, and they seem to range between, I'd say, 10 and 20 bucks depending on condition. And this is like a decent condition unit. There's some ripping of the stickers, the sticker appliques on the side here, which is pretty typical. And a little bit of missing paint on the front edge of everything, but I mean, the chassis is still solid, the wheels are well mounted, rolls fairly okay, so this would be like kind of like an acceptable, good used condition. These are normally easy to pick up for about 15 bucks. I only saw one with the this version of the camper box in the back, the yellow box. Most of them seem to have brown camper add-ons on the back. So I don't know if this one's rare or not, but nevertheless, cool little curio from the past. The base is literally says made in Hong Kong, basically. That's it. And that's pretty much, what I found. Without the box, I found quite a few. Now, were they campers on the get-go or not? I don't know. But there's a bunch of different colors on these. We're talking about red, blue, green, and of course this yellow, white. Either way, they abound, to say the least, if we're talking about variations. So, next up, I'm gonna go to a little more recent casting. Actually pretty recent. I believe this was a release from maybe 3 years ago. From Matchbox, you have this nice little square body flare side pickup. Yeah, or step side pickup. Depends. You got a bunch of different ones. And see the front end of this? This looks like the Yatman, what the Yatman version of this pickup would look like. So the bigger square lights on top with the smaller indicators on the bottom. And that's what led me to believe that it's not the other one that we just looked at is not a Yatman. But this one here is pretty cool. Really good casting details, tow hitch, the kind of like gray, slightly shimmery base. It's not a bad color, easy to detail as well. And I mean, this is just begging for a little coat of, well, a couple coats of different colors. Cool little livery with the MC construction. Black interior that also completes the bed that is slightly dusty. Unusual sunroof. It's not something you'd expect on a work truck. Rearview mirrors are done. Yeah, and of course you got the infamous Matchbox Steelies, which honestly I think are probably the best wheels Matchbox does, especially in views of what they tend to do as castings. The older stuff, classics and whatnot. Got a hard time focusing here. See if we can get this guy aimed in. There we go. Yeah, so a nice little pickup basically. I do like it. It's classic. It's nice. I'm going to start a little lineup here. Next up, staying in the Matchbox realm. This is definitely a redux of an old casting. It would, and by the way, we're going square body, but I did decide to include a few Jimmies and Blazers in here because you know, at the end of the day, they're the SUV version of that same truck. So here's one of them. Got the nice little police version of the K5 Blazer, 4x4 off-road wheels, and a nice police livery. See if we can get a better look at what is written on here. It's written sheriff on top, but I have no idea what the what's written on the lower part there. It's so small. But yeah, serve to community, which pretty sure is not correct English, despite English not being my first language. I'm pretty sure of that. Yeah, basically you've got those stacked rectangular lights as opposed to the big square ones we looked at just before. This is there's no year, but I believe this would probably be a slightly later version than the one that we checked out just before, which is more 70s, and this one probably is early 80s. So very cool truck. I did add some rear lights on the back here, just for fun, quite some time ago. Seemingly my dexterity for the passenger one was not at its best that day, but I digress. Some nice clear windows. Again, you've got that hitch on the back, which is kind of cool. Yeah, I like the fact that it's clear glass, so you get a nice glimpse of the interior, which is not bad. It's dark gray. Black plastic base. 2016 copyright, and I know that there was a version of this way back when. So I'm thinking this is like a retooling of an older casting, probably that had moving parts at the time. So we'll leave these three here like this, and I'll show you my last loose piece that I would like to share with you today. And it's kind of a doozy. It's not quite 1/64 scale, which obviously will give you a good idea of which brand we're talking about. Yes, you guessed it, Jada. So this is a series that from Jada. It still exists today, actually. under the just trucks. So just trucks basically is fairly prevalent. We do have these in Canada as well. And basically we're talking about this series specifically though is from the late 2000s, actually late 2000s, and it's out of the high profile series. So instead of being just your slammed hot rodded trucks, it was a special series for the lifted trucks, when the lifted trucks with these style of wheels were just starting to be popular. So I find it's pretty cool. I mean, it's definitely got a lot of cool custom touches. All the wheels and the suspension are all black chrome, burnt orange, very metallic paint. Bumper delete on the back, ghosted rear lights, which you can see on the bottom there a little bit. There you go. Closed bed. You can see the chrome steering wheel in the back. You see the high profile sticker on the rear window. It does have rear view mirrors that are very small, and a custom grill, custom two-piece grill, the tiny bow tie in the middle, and the Jada license plate. You'll see that the turn signals are painted into the bumper, which is black, as is the hood and the grill, the twin grill. Yeah, really nice truck. It's very heavy, plastic base, but it's very well made. These are so solid. Basically, they're very, play proof. Paint is an extremely good quality. I mean, look at the thread on the tires, how interesting it is too. Yeah, this is an eBay purchase from quite some time ago. This thing rolls impeccably well. But it's a little bit big, as most Jada 1/64 scale tend to be. But yeah, I mean, it's in line with like Siku's and some majorettes that are a bit larger, things like that, basically. So maybe even the Matchbox Classic Mini Cooper, which is awfully big compared to other cars. So yeah, definitely a cool one. Put her there just to show the size difference. There you go. Next up, let's fall into some carded stuff. And I pulled out a couple of Hot Wheels square bodies. Honestly, they're not my favorite rendition of the square body, because they're slightly wide, slightly short, and definitely slammed. That last part I'm not going to complain about. But here's one that was pretty hard to acquire without going through resellers or hobby shops or things like that. So the infamous Golf square body out of the I believe this was it's got a cracked bubble, which is why I was able to pick it up off the pegs, but it doesn't matter. I mean, I'm gonna end up opening all my premiums anyways. Looking at videos from Strictly Diecast, this series of 5 cars premiums he's opening at one time every video definitely gives me the urge to open these, but I need to set myself up with some nice display cases and things like that before I do so, because at the moment, as you can see in the backdrop, they're just kind of getting piled up. So before I start opening even more, obviously I want to make sure that I'm well equipped in space. So this one is pretty cool. Since it's a premium, it does have pretty full detailing. I am quite happy with this truck and how they did the livery. It's Golf, but it really looks like a shop truck livery, not like a race livery or something like that. It's written Good Golf on the back. The bed's a little bit detailed. I like that the plastic part in the middle is kind of like a almost translucent white. Makes it a little bit more realistic. Same color for the interior. White interiors on custom pickups are definitely something that's cool. Although it's not necessarily the best color choice for a work truck. Great wheel choice with the 5-slot wheels. Little Silverado badge on the front fender is slightly oversized, but definitely accurate if we're talking about the actual font and the placing and everything. So the placement, sorry. So yeah, nice little truck out of this series. I never found a Little Red Express in the shell livery. I do have the Studebaker. Never picked up the Holland Gas, and the Dodge Airflow I actually sold because I honestly didn't know where it would fit in my collection. So there you go. One of two remaining out of this series in the collection. Next, Hot Wheels Squarebody. Definitely something that's a little bit more recent. This was 2 years ago. Boulevard series, so the same truck, same casting, but with a jacked up base. Actually, these bases are super easy to interchange. Go from lifted to slammed, so I almost feel like doing the base swap because I don't know why. I find the Golf one would look great lifted, whereas this one would look absolutely awesome slammed. Plus, since we've got chrome bumpers on this one, but gray wheels, and the other one is kind of like more of a unpolished raw Zamac with chrome wheels. I don't know, there's like a mix and match there but yeah, as you can see, same Silverado emblem on the wing, same casting detail, same everything. In the box here we have black plastic for the black interior, same light details, obviously without the Golf stuff, and you've got the Chevrolet script on the passenger side on that rear door. So no door handles, no mirrors on these, but super heavy. Obviously on Real Riders, metal on metal. So there you go. Next up, we're gonna fall into some Greenlight. I'm gonna start with two Blazers. First one I'm going to show you is from the Greenlight Hollywood series. This would have been a 2019 licensing, 2020 release. This is another K5 Blazer, this one of the 1981 vintage, and it is from The X-Files. Don't ask me which episode. It's not indicated on the back either which episode it would be in, but it's out of Greenlight Hollywood Series 25, released 2019, on the pegs in 2020. Now it's cool to check on the differences versus the Matchbox we looked at before, and the detail differences versus the square bodies from Hot Wheels. So this one obviously is an older model versus the two that we just checked out before. So it's got the square lights on top, the Chevy typical grill band that goes from the whole length of the grill is not as defined as it was in later years, but you still have the bow tie in the middle. Brown metallic paint, cool 8-dot wheels or 8-hole wheels. Rear is really nice. You got the white bumpers, the white powder coated bumpers, which is appropriate for a truck that's meant for utilitarian use. You got the light bar on top that's period accurate as well. Unfortunately, no mirrors on this as well, but I mean, that's typical Greenlight for most castings. You've got the Sheriff logo, and a little bit of silver detailing around the wheel arches on the door handles. You can see that the interior is white in this one as well, which is probably not the best color choice for a police vehicle. I'd definitely go with a darker interior color for any type of spills and human matter that may end up in there. Tinted windows in the back. Very cool. Very, very cool. Good looking truck. And I believe there's an opening hood on this thing, but I'm honestly not sure. There seems to be a very tight gap, but a gap nonetheless. Who knows, eh? I'm not going to be opening these tonight, so there you go. Next up, how about we check on an alternate model year and a rebadge version of what we just looked at. 83 GMC Jimmy Sierra Classic. Same wheels, same cast, different grill obviously. GMC grill with the stacked rectangular lights that we kind of saw in that Welly slash Soma cast. You got the BF Goodrich livery. This is out of Series 9 of Running on Empty. I explained a little bit of my Greenlight brand specific episode, what these were about. Different series, so I won't get into that again. This I picked up specifically because I actually have from Greenlight again a 164 Garage in with BF Goodrich sponsorship, so this is really to go with that garage. I'll review that eventually, and I'll probably at the same time unbox this bad boy here to include it in there. So yeah, really nice truck. This one's got a beige interior, again the tinted windows in the back, but very similar, you know, very similar except for the badging, the grille, and the color scheme. And the fact, obviously, there's no light bar on the top of this one, since this, again, is meant to be a shop truck. And yeah, the rear cover is actually white as opposed to being body colored on this one as well. Little detail, but hey. Yeah, so next one, we're gonna fall back into some pickups. This is one that I actually passed over. Didn't see it again for a little bit, and then it popped up again at my most local store where I pick up diecast. So the 87 Silverado, in again running on empty, this time series 13, and you've got the blown V8, which is something somewhat of an oddity, especially from Greenlight. You've got the Krager style wheels, or maybe torque thrust style wheels. Yeah, the stacked lights again. Really very nice, very nice pickup. Gotta love the red and blue. Really very bright, very flashy. Nice amount of chrome. Long bed truck. Actually no, I think this is a short box, short cab, short box, and I always get confused when I look at these back to back, because the short it could be a medium box, but I mean the short box is really short on the Hot Wheels version of the Squarebody. So is it a short box or is it like an intermediate length box? I'm really not sure. But yeah, it's a really cool truck. It's got kind of like a drag look to it, but it doesn't have like wide slicks or anything in the back. It's got standard width tires. It's just kind of like hot rodded, but like a street truck. Maybe a demo vehicle for STP, who knows. And last of the Greenlight that I'm going to show you, and definitely my favorite out of the bunch personally, would be from the Detroit Speed Series. Release 2, 83 Silverado C10. This one's a long bed. Fleet side with a bunch of patina, steel rims. Let's try and get a better focus on this here. But there's some rust, paint fade, dust. You know, I love weathered trucks, so I'm not sure if this is like a Detroit Speed build, basically that they crammed a crazy engine under the hood that does open, which is the same for all of these Squarebody pickups. I think maybe not the one with the blower that we just saw, but this one definitely the hood opens. Details are all there again. This is a really cool two-tone brown and beige very of the era type truck. And yeah, I'm just wondering, is it a shop truck or is it a sleeper? Not sure. I mean, from what I can tell from the base, it's not on slicks or anything. You got tread on all 4 tires, and they're not wider or nothing in the back either. So, but this is such a cool piece. Such a cool piece. Tempted to say it's my favorite Squarebody in my collection as a whole. The one that makes me hesitate, actually, or the ones that make me hesitate about that fact, would be the first M2 set I'm going to share with you today. Actually, before we do that, let's make a little bit more room here. There we go. So out of the auto lift, we've got these 2 nice slammed square bodies that are kind of like complementary to each other, I guess. I love these two car sets because not only do they come with a lift that looks awesome in that diorama that I alluded to before, but you've got one truck that's LS swapped and that's got a flare side box, while the other is just as slammed but with a fleet side box. And one's got chrome wheels with the white walls, the other one's got black wheels with the tire lettering, the Goodyear tire lettering. These things are sweet. You'll notice different grills for the different years. Although it's indicated that both of them are seemingly 1973s. They still have different grills, so maybe different trim levels or something like that. I don't know. Either way, try and get a better view of these. Especially the top one with the LS swap. Look at that nice little LS. A little Corvette engine under the hood. Maybe a GTO engine, who knows. But yeah, the blue one definitely looks really, really good. Really good looking truck. With the tan interior. It's got a kind of like a little lowrider look to it. Hot rodded as well at the same time. Whereas the top one just looks like a mean mofo. At least in my opinion. This thing. You've got the aftermarket wheels. Super wide in the back on the black one. Whereas the blue one has standard width tires. So, I don't know. I find these things are so complementary one to the other. They're totally different styles. Totally different styles. So, I really do enjoy this. I mean, these are ex aequo with the previous Squarebody I just showed you. The Detroit Speed one has definitely my favorite probably, probably be the black one out of the 2, but at the same time I like classic looking builds, and the blue one is I don't know. It's hard. It's a hard pick. It's a hard pick for sure. Other Squarebody ensemble from M2 that I'm going to show you. One that I was pretty fortunate to find. There's this 3-pack, which is a Walmart exclusive, and seemingly now quite rare. Just gonna give this more light so we can see this better. So yeah, a trio of lifted square bodies, 2 of them being fleet sides and the middle one being a flare side. Middle one is definitely yeah, I think it's my favorite out of the bunch. It's got that pinstriping that's really cool. So as you can see here are what the 3 trucks are. So you got a Cheyenne, Scottsdale, and a Sierra Grande, 2 Chevys and a GMC, 2 76s and 173. Yeah, so I really like the blue one. Very cool. I do love flare side boxes, honestly, and I find that the chrome roll bar is really cool with the 2 driving lights on top. Yellow one is also very cool though. Same roll bar, a blade a little bit wider with the 2 driving lights. I like the white roof, the two-tone yellow and white, and the white wheels to complement the whole thing, as well as the white push bar up front. Whereas this one has a chrome one to go with the chrome wheels. You know, like a stock paint color scheme. I find this looks like on almost. What else is there to say? I mean, you know, they look great, and all of these have opening hoods, maybe opening tailgates as well. I'm not sure. Have to open one to find out. And last but not least, we have this really cool kind of like military green version with blacked out everything, not a single piece of chrome. Literally looks all blacked out, although you can see the slight glare from the lensed headlamp. A lot of Chevy livery going on. Normally when M2 does this type of deco, be it Mopar, be it Chevy, or be it Ford Performance, normally that means there's a swapped engine under the hood. I would not be able to tell you if that's the case. But yeah, you know, very Chevy. Black wheels, black bumpers, tinted rear lights, black roll bar, black hood. Surprisingly enough, tan interior. Whereas blue one has a blue interior, and the yellow one has a kind of like grayish beige. Not like a caramel beige like the other one, but more like a brownish beige gray. Not exactly sure. It's kind of hard to tell because it's almost as if the steering is not exactly the same color as the seats. So, but definitely a very cool trio of trucks. Actually, you know what? We'll just put them up here so as to better see, make a better backdrop. And there's your other M2 right there. So we're going to be completely squared out here. More or less funny, but hey, I try. Alright, so last piece I'm going to show you today is the only one that's not going to be in 164. Well, you know, obviously, but let's not go there. Although we are talking about the same brand. When this came out, I had to pick it up. There's been maybe 2 or 3 other variations of this since it came out, but this 132 scale Jada 1980 K5 Blazer. And I have yet to take this out of the box, and I thought I'd do a little unboxing. Let's just get the tape removed off the box. I'll take a closer look at what this thing looks like out of the box. These Jadas are pretty easy to open, which is always agreeable. The type of tape they use also actually reseals itself fairly well. I'm trying to be careful not to tear the box, because as you can maybe tell here, this one actually saw a little bit of a rip on the box, which I kind of fixed using a piece of tape. So here's our little Blazer out of the box. Very nice little piece of truck, if I do say so myself. Very standard looking, which is what made me pick it up. Opening doors, the nice black interior. Well done. I think Jada does. I find Jada does really nice interiors personally. Kind of hard to see because it's black, but this thing's really well done. Nice front end. You can definitely see the difference between the older and the newer grills with the stack lights instead of the big square ones. So, yeah, cool off-road wheels with a slightly different wheel front and back, due to the fact there's probably a locker. Hence the hubs are not the same. So definitely 4x4 as opposed to 2-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive. But yeah, this thing is really nice. Nice shade of blue. It's not like Grabber blue. It's not Nagaro blue. It's not Miami blue. It's not Smurf blue or sky blue. It's really like, it's a pretty unique tone. I mean, it kind of looks like Nagaro blue through the lens. But it's definitely not. It's definitely not the same hue as what we'd seen in person. And what's kind of deceiving to the eye is the fact that this green surround here kind of reverberates onto the paint. But yeah, it's a really nice blue. It looks a little bit more pearlescent, maybe a smidgen more dark in real life versus what you're seeing right now through this lens. Nevertheless, very nicely done truck, nicely done details. Slight fit issue with the rear bumper from what I can see. Slightly out of place, slightly drooping. Just something that it's not the first time I see this on a Jada product, but yeah, it's solidly fixed in place. It's not like it's gonna fall. It just looks like it may have been rear-ended or something like that. You know, somebody not paying attention and in a traffic jam, kind of like bumping him at low speeds. It's probably what would have happened there. But yeah, love the grill on this thing. You know, the lights are done in the front. I would have liked to see a little dab of gold for the bow tie. That's something I can probably add myself. So yeah, again, the bumper fitment is not great, honestly. So that's a little bit of a letdown, but it's the only thing. Well, that and the lack of rearview mirrors, but all in all, I mean, it's a great truck. Great looking, stock looking truck. So yeah, we'll end the showcase here. I do hope you enjoyed. You probably did if you're a Squarebody fan. If you're not, well, you know, we'll get back to probably get back to cars on the next episode, because I can only do so many showcases of trucks, because probably got I don't know, 7 or 8 cars for one truck in my collection. So there you go. All right, on that note, well, I want to thank you for watching. Do hit that like button if you enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to be notified of my future uploads. And of course, feel free to comment your feedback in the comment section. And until the next video, I'm going to wish you a great evening. Take care. Bye-bye.